My name's Thomas Waddle, this is the Whisky Sour Hour, and I'm joined here by Kal John.
How's it going?
How you doing? You alright?
Alright, mate, not too bad.
Good. Kal is a pretty big deal, I would say, in
Big,
Ayrshire.
yes.
Big and sound.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Aye, so you are an actor and we also work together, which is pretty cool. But the acting side, it's a bit more interesting than what the job is, I would say.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for coming on. Try not to move here, my chair's off a rickety. So, thanks for coming on. Obviously, this is quite a big deal. We're using the new setup here, so hopefully all things go well. The recording's good. So if there is any issues with the audio, it's all Cal's fault because he's
cannot promise.
So we'll just start. Obviously, where all things start. What got you into acting?
Oh man, I've always been like a movie buff, like just always. And I remember watching Braveheart with Mel Gibson, and I just thought, oh my god, this is the coolest guy I've ever fucking seen in my life. And initially I wanted to be William Wallace, and then it just kind of like fed in this like natural progression where I just went from movie to movie to movie and just get more and more engrossed. And then I got a wee bit older, and my big brother, he's 5 years older than me, and I remember going to see him at a school play, and it was Gregory's Girl.
Nice.
And he played like the creepy teacher, and I just thought, man, that just looks cool as anything. I just might do that. So I've just always kind of loved it, and just always kind of been like into it. Like even at school, like I played Doctor Who in primary 4. Doctor Who, yeah. The schools, I think it was like I went to quite an old primary school, St Columbus. Shout out! I don't think they exist anymore.
Whereabouts was that?
Kilmarnock.
Sorry, I'm dying here.
I can't remember if it was their 100th year anniversary or their 50th year anniversary, but they decided to do a Doctor Who play.
I'm not wanting to ask ages, but I'm trying to. I take it was the new series out at this point, or was it just an old teacher was like, we want to do that?
I probably would say it was just like, because I think the school was so old, they wanted to celebrate like how old it was by going through history the time the school. So like it started like way back when and worked its way through certain periods of history where the school was open, and it was cool. So I played Doctor Who, and my assistant Leila Dot. It was pretty. And then I've just always been into it, mate. And then I tried to stick at it in secondary school, but my school was weird. Like you could either take PE or drama.
I had the exact same.
And I was like, that's
the exact same issue.
So shit.
Aye.
And this is going to sound like horrible, and I don't know if it'll make the podcast or whatever, but like if you liked drama or like musical theatre or that kind of stuff, you were gay.
Aye.
So you get slated for it at school. So like I always had that and made like, I don't want to do that in case
folk
call me that, or like but I always wanted to do it.
What year or what age were you when that was like a big part of your like mind set? Like you're worried about that?
Well, third year, because
third year. Is that when
first and second
when you get to
year,
pick
see
your
when you
set?
split,
Aye.
You get to pick your subjects.
So
like it was PE or drama, and I was like, oh well,
it's PE.
That's PE then, isn't it? Because I was good at football. I played football, and I was good at PE to be honest. So it was horrible. But then fifth year comes and you can sit hires, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I could probably crash course higher drama here, because like I just could.
There's those like 3-4 years in your adult or adolescence where
you're worried about what
you're worried about that.
Aye.
I mean, for me, I grew up watching Italian football, and obviously pink's a big thing over there. Like I love Palermo, and I used to always be afraid of wearing that, wearing the tops and stuff, and being a Partick Thistle fan, there was a lot of pink tops that we had, and it just, Aye, it just sort of there's something that flicks. The switch changes.
It did, like, because I was like, I actually don't give a fuck because it's what I want to do. So I tried to do it, but the school had cut the drama department completely.
Right.
So there was like no budget for it. So I was like, oh well, fuck, there goes that dream. And then, like, it just kind of disappeared into the background, and life changed, and then I decided to like go back, but that's a separate story. But that's why initially why I wanted to be an actor was because I just always had a fucking inkling to movies, and my big brother did it, and I did it at school, and I just thought, that'd be pretty fucking
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And did when you were doing your Doctor Who, I take it you were up on stage, did you get like a kind of buzz when you were doing it? You're like, I could see myself doing this. Was it theatre at first, or did you think, I would love to do like films after watching the likes of Braveheart?
Well, obviously, like, everybody wants to be an actor when they're a wee guy, do you know what I mean? But see, to be honest, like, if I try and remember back, like, I don't think it was as much. Well, I'm just contradicting myself here. Part and parcel, it was a buzz, but part and parcel, like, at that age, like, you just want to get it over and done with because you're so nervous and you don't know how to deal with it.
You don't take it in.
No, you don't take it in. But then, like, a year before that, I think I played, like, the comic relief in, like, a school play. I played Mr. Pullman, and I owned a cracker factory. Do you know, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit, like, that shit humour that you get, like school plays. But, like, everybody laughed at my jokes that I was saying, and I loved that. That was, like, class.
Aye.
But theatre is class, man. Like, theatre is, like, the buzz, it's almost like a musician.
Well, I found myself recently going to the Theatre Royal, like Lauren and I go to a lot of shows, and it's not even like musicals, because we've been to musicals and that, and sometimes they're hit and miss. But just like a good dramatic play, it's a different like style of acting.
Aye.
Because there's that little bit, you're almost like, if you were playing a scene on screen for like an 8, you maybe go to like an 8.5 to just kind of emote that wee bit more.
Like, theatre is so hard.
Is that something you've done in the past as well? Like, out with obviously the school plays, like, did you do much of that?
Part of my drama degree was that we got to do a full run at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which was brilliant. Like, it was just so cool. Like, that's maybe the wankiest I've ever felt. Like, as I'm an actor. Like, you go and meet other actors and just hang out.
I could see you being like, no, I'm a thespian.
I remember we went to it was like an after show party, like, where just all the actors meet up, and like those fellow actors playing fucking instruments and singing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so wanky, I need to get out of here. But at the same time, like, I fucking loved it. It was great. It was like, oh, man, if this is what life could be like, this would be pretty class. But
and how was the experience at Edinburgh Fringe? Because that can be quite intense. Like, having to, I take it you were out promoting.
Yes,
and then
every
you were,
day.
yeah.
So you were up there, crack of farts, get into your costume, get out onto the mile, try and get as many folk into the theatre as you could. Like, we were lucky because obviously, like, my drama school they didn't really care about like ticket sales. It was more so about like there wasn't a pressure to get bums and seats, for example.
Yeah.
It was just more so about like experience in life as a professional actor, trying to like, because obviously there's people up there that are like,
of course, yeah,
financially driven by that because they've invested a lot of money, so they're trying to recoup it. But it was brutal, man. It was like long ass days, man. And it's.
Were you staying up there or did you travel?
No, I travelled it, man. I just travelled it. Like, it was an hour in the train or something like that. So it's really not that bad, do you know what I mean? So I just travelled it. And like, the performances themselves, sometimes you'd be playing in front of a packed house, sometimes you're playing in front of like one guy. Do you know what I mean?
I take it that's more awkward than having the one guy.
Do you know something?
No.
Weirdly enough, it's not, because when there's no cunt there, sorry, I'm allowed to swear.
We're 16 episodes in, and this is the first time the C word, the C bomb has
Sorry, oh my god! Oh, that's...
No, you know what I'm going to actually have to do? I'm going to have to, when I upload it, I'm going to have to put explicit content.
Yes, aye, quality. Well, aye, so it's actually more freeing. Like, when there's one guy there,
aye,
or like 3 or 4 guys, it loosens you up, and it's like, oh well, I'm not playing to like a massive audience here, so it's, I don't know, it just takes like a wee bit of pressure off you. And sometimes some of your best performances are when there's hardly anybody there, because you're so loose and you're just bouncing off your fellow actors.
Was it one performance a day you're doing?
One a day.
One a day.
One a day, so the full run.
You always forget that it's not like
55 minutes or something like that. 45 minutes.
And was that a week?
That was like 4 weeks.
Or was it the full thing?
It was the full thing, mate.
Because you forget that when you watch a movie and you can go back and watch the outtakes, but the movie's set. That's it. Whereas if you were going to watch a play every night, you're seeing something a little bit different. There's always, and you want to go near the end because then everybody's got it down.
100%. Well, I tried to do it different, or at least something slightly different, because it does, like, it gets stagnant, I feel. So like, whether it was the play we did was called Leopold Vindictive, and it was about a militia in Belgium that were using carrier pigeons to send messages to the British government, or the British like MI5, and like coordinating attacks for where the Germans, like, they were essentially spies.
Yeah.
And it was a cracking story, and the play was split in two, running parallel. So my side was the British Army side, so I played Major Brian Mellon, and I had Lieutenant Colonel Sanderson, who was played by my mate Derek.
Right.
And then the other side was the Belgian side. So it was just me and Derek. So I literally could only bounce off Derek, so we tried to like bounce off each other and make it like harder or interesting. But it was just brilliant, man. Like, it was just so good.
How many years ago was that?
Now you're asking. I want to say 2019.
Right, okay.
It was a while ago, like.
Okay, see, when you think about it, you're like, it was a while ago. But to me, like 2019, there's that kind of break, like pre and post COVID. There is a kind of.
Well, that's how I know it was 2019, because I graduated in the January of 2020.
So you had 2 months and then everything.
So I had, like, you in the acting like business, you get like a grace period. It's called, like, I think it's like where graduates get like a big push. So that was your opportunity really to get in front of as many casting directors as you possibly could. And then fucking March comes and COVID happens, and you're like, wow, that's the career at Wendy. Do you know what I mean? So it really, I never got that. So it really did take me about the best part of like a year and a half to like recoup. But the whole industry kind of suffered, man. To be honest with you.
I find I was watching a really interesting documentary actually, or I say documentary, I class them as it was like a video essay on YouTube, and it was talking about the exodus of talent from the likes of the BBC and ITV, and how the quality since COVID's dipped, greatly. With the show that I don't have terrestrial TV, so going back, I mean, we were talking before we started the podcast about. We were talking, you'd mentioned like Doctor Who and stuff, but prior, 20 years ago, when Doctor Who was out, you were like, that was like landmark, everybody was watching that, and then I think now it's getting to the point where it's like sub 1.5 million viewers, which is crazy.
Doctor Who's on Disney Plus, is it on now?
In America, I think outside of the UK, I think it's anywhere else.
Because it was such a massive show.
Yeah, so like growing up and then like having that, but even the likes of the BBC again. I don't watch River City, but with that being cancelled, there's a kind of uproar.
That's quite sad, to be honest.
That was about a hotbed for talent.
I feel like it's classist
because it's Scottish.
Aye, I really do. Like, there's not really a lot of Scottish telly programmes out there.
No, what was it before that? High Road?
Like, there's just none. Which is sad, because like, there's so many great Scottish actors.
Oh, of course.
And like, there's so many great young Scottish actors. So like, I mean, I love to write. Like, I write quite a lot. I wrote a sitcom. I've wrote short plays, short stories, short films, feature films, TV shows, and I'd love to like do something like it, but there is just no path. Like, there's just nothing.
How do you get that under somebody's nose?
Well, it's just so hard, mate. Like, and there's no like a clear cut, or this is what you do it. So like a lot of the time it's self-funded, and it's just like strokes of luck. That's pretty much it. But I don't know. It's just really hard. It's really hard in the industry, to be honest with you. It doesn't really kind of matter what avenue you go down. But like, going back to that, like graduating, like just before COVID, I had like the option of, do I move down to London, chase the dream for like a year or two, or do I stay home? Like in this modern world, like self-tapes are a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, rather than in-person auditions, it's like self-tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, do I go down to London, work as many hours as I can, to live in a bed sit, try and go to as many auditions as I can, or do I just stay up the road and just try and date for here? Like, and I'm so thankful that I did do that, because COVID happened. Plus, if I didn't have done that, I don't think I would have met my fiancée and had my family. So like, it's probably the best decision I ever made, to be honest with you.
So, once you've graduated, you've got to the point where, did you think like, that's me? The rocket's gonna take off now, or were you quite realistic with your thoughts?
I'm incredibly realistic. The only thing that it did kind of give me like I don't want to say a bloated head or like a big head, but like you have a showcase. So like you have a end of year showcase where you invite like industry professionals, agents, like casting directors, to come and see you in the hopes of signing or getting spotted for a show or some pish like that. But obviously we live in Scotland, it's quite a small industry. The drama school I went to was quite small, so like maybe not as much.
What was the drama school if you
Acting Coach Scotland.
Whereabouts was that based?
It's in Govan.
Oh, in Govan?
Aye.
Oh, nice.
Aye. Big shout out.
Big shout out. Is it still going now?
I think it's still going now, aye.
And did you have any, like previous graduates that kind of went on? Is there anybody you want to name drop? Or?
I don't know. I don't know if that sounds like a wanker thing to say. Like,
was there anybody you saw then and were thinking, they're where I want to be? You don't need to name the names, but was there like...
No, it's not like in the sense of like naming names. I just don't want to insult anybody like in their careers. Like
it never panned out.
No, not even that it never panned out. Just in the sense of like, fucking, I'm so in mine like headspace, mate. Like, I really don't give a fuck about like, and the missus will tell you that. Like, I'm really bad at just caring about what anything else is happening in the world other than my own wee world. So I don't know. Like, I feel like that would feed into like anxieties as well. Like, if I started looking at other people's careers that went to my drama school, I'd be like, why did that not happen to me? Like,
what are they doing different?
Like, what are they doing different that I'm not doing? So like, I try and think about it, to be honest with you.
No, that's a good way to be. Because
the only thing I would say was I did a short film, or I got asked to do a short film, and to play like the head bouncer in it / drug dealer, and
you got to look.
and I met a big boy called Rory Grant, and he went to the drama school that I was going to, and I thought he was great. I thought he was a lovely big guy, cracking looking big boy, and he just talked like the back legs off it as if it was like quality. And see, to be fair, it was one of the best years of my life, man. So like that's probably it, man. I know there's a couple of people that have done really well in the short film format, but as in like proper stuff.
No, of course. That's cool. Do you find, and it's something that bugs me, again, I'm through the episodes that we've done, I'm quite proud of things that are like Scottish based, and it's not like I'm out there banging a drum about it, but I just think it is cool when the likes of the Mission Impossible movies, which I've recently been talking about, the composer for the Fallout and Dead Reckoning, Scottish composer. Aye,
that's class. I didn't know that.
Aye, so we things like that, Lorne Balfe. So like wee things like that, I'm always like kind of championing it. And one thing that bugs me is you've got, I mean, I don't know about you, right? You were talking about Braveheart earlier. One of my favourite movies is Highlander. Now I know Christopher Lambert is French, but
he's Belgian, is he not?
Is he Belgian? Maybe,
I'm sure he's Belgian.
He's Franc. he's
Flemish.
Flemish. So he's got that, but then you've obviously got like Sean Connery playing.
That?
Well, that's what I was going to get onto.
Okay.
So do you know who they've cast as the main?
Henry Cavill.
What is that all about? When you've got plenty of Scottish guys that could carry that.
I don't have a problem with it, mate.
You don't? No,
because, I mean, for example, I've just done a TV show and I play an Irish guy.
Oh, well, yeah,
so it's... I think if you've got the chops, if you put it off, by all means go for it, man. Like I did, like before I went to drama school, I went and did a wee bit of extra work for Outlaw King.
Very good.
Worked really closely with Chris Pine and all the other guys, and their accents were great, and they were great in that movie. Like Aaron Taylor Johnson was fantastic in that movie.
Well, I'm going to just a wee sidebar here then. Who is the top non-Scottish accent, like non-Scottish person doing a Scottish accent? Because I've got one, and you'll probably know it when I tell you, but I've got one that I'm like, that is top notch.
I can tell you who's definitely not got the
No,
greatest,
we could do that.
There's a fucking list.
You're right with Aaron Taylor Johnson, because he does one, funnily enough, in the King's Man. He plays a Scottish character, and he is superb.
He's good. He's a really nice guy as well, which is weird because I think he's like a character actor of some sort, because he always stayed in. He played quite a difficult role, so it's kind of wanky, but at the same time, like it's really hard to like shoot movies.
Oh, you mean like a method actor?
Like, no method.
No.
Like there's a difference.
Do you mean like character as in like he always plays like?
No, as in like. It's kind of method, but it's no. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like if you're filming an emotionally charged scene, or you're playing like a guy who's in the middle of a war, it's really hard to like just shift out of that and like be completely fucking sound as a pound and like go and hang about with 30 extras and just be like a nice guy.
Let's go and get some lunch.
Like it's really hard, but like I'd see him sometimes. He just would kind of walk off, and then he would come back, and then I think he asked me for a fag one day, and I just sat in like a fake deed horse with him, and I smoked a fag with him for like I don't know, like 5 minutes, and he like spoke to me about 3 times, and then that was it, and I never saw him for the rest of the shoot. But like gone for there and then actually doing it myself, like it is like there's a specific scene in this TV show that I do, and it's quite like an emotionally charged scene and quite physical, and like it's hard to just switch off and like go and like hang about with folk and do a smelly because you're trying to make it look fucking good, you know what I mean? So it's quite difficult, but I can't remember what you asked me.
So just going
Scottish
back,
accents.
Going back to the accents, I'll just say mine. Just
right, go tell me yours.
Mark Strong, and it's funnily enough it is in the Kingsman movies. His
dreadful.
is good, mate. His is good.
Oh, your arse.
Oh, don't be like that.
Oh,
Mark Strong, Country Roads, Take Me Home in a Scottish accent is glorious.
He's trying too hard.
I think it I think it fits with the movie because it's got that James Bondiness with a bit like a cheek, and I think it kind of works because it's like they're caricatures. They're no like exactly the English guys are like, you know, extra, you know, so it's just that wee bit extra. I quite enjoy it, but
I can't remember what programme I was watching, but somebody did a Scottish accent in it, and they were Scottish, and I was like, man, that's pretty good. But also, I really rate Chris Pine. I think that was kind of.
I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
Kind of bob on, really.
Do you feel like that movie, The Outlaw King, should have had a sequel? Because I wanted to see more of it. I really enjoyed it that much.
Yes and no. I think
you feel like it kind of devalues it a wee bit after the sequel.
I think the guy as well, to be fair to him, David Mackenzie, the director, he shot a lot of stuff. So I think like that could have been like a 3-year film, or like just under a 3-year film, and they cut.
Do you not think it's bizarre that they do that when you've got Netflix, where it's like it's a streaming platform?
Aye, definitely, especially when it was kind of made for Netflix as well, which was like, that's weird.
I know.
Like, or at least like they could have cut a theatrical piece for the theatres, and then they could have put the director's cut on Netflix, which was however many like minutes longer. Yeah. Like like
a lot of the Rings extended.
But like I wouldn't have said no to what I really would have liked would have been a spin-off.
I always thought
with the Black Douglas, the guy who Aaron Taylor Johnson plays. His story is fucking wild, man. Like the actual guy. Did you know where the name Braveheart comes from?
Well, no.
So there's some internet dweeb's going to absolutely annihilate me.
Actually,
so I think, or I was told, the name Braveheart comes from that guy, Douglas, went to Jerusalem.
What? Right,
or on the mad, what's it, the pilgrimage?
Pilgrimage?
Aye.
The crusade?
The crusade, yes. And fought over there and took William Wallace's heart in a pendant.
Right.
Or this sounds so made up now that I'm saying it out loud. And apparently when he was dying, he threw the heart, like, and that's where the name Braveheart comes from.
That's
because
pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool story,
pretty cool.
but now I say it out loud, it sounds utter dross, man. Wow.
You want a spin-off where Aaron Taylor-Johnson fights the legions of hell?
No, but he was a proper nutter, and he was like a really, really like quality knight. And
sorry, are we talking about Black Douglas here?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That would have been a pretty cool spin-off.
So I remember watching that, and you're right with what you're saying. It felt like there was cuts to it, and I don't mean like egregious, but you're like, oh, would I like to see that expanded? I thought a mini-series would have been very good for that. Like where you could have explored it a bit more. But I really enjoyed it.
It was. I thought it was a cracking film. Plus, there was a whole like sequences cut like they get attacked. Like my pals that I met a really good group of boys on that. The Archer Cats, shout out. You know who you are, lads. And we and they filmed like this big sequence that just wasn't in the movie at all. And like he goes off to like caves and all that shit, and the spider and all that, and like I think that's a true story as well.
Aye.
And like they included that in the movie, like that was cut. So there was like loads of stuff. But aye.
No,
so that would have been my choice for an actor.
No, Chris Pine is. I think Chris Pine's underrated.
Phenomenal.
I think he's a great actor.
Hell High Water, quality.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
No, he is quality. So like again, having somebody
great eyes as well.
He is. He's a bit of a dreamboat, isn't he?
Oh,
he's the best Chris in my opinion.
Oh, I think so.
I would
my
say
wife loves Chris Hemsworth, but
I
just think he's too
beefcake for me.
Beefcake. Aye. Chris Pine's a real pretty boy.
Chris Evans would have bullied you at school, 100%.
I don't think so.
He would have played football. He would have played football and bullied you.
I think Chris. What's his name again? Chris Evans. No, I think he's just a pretty normal dude. And Chris Pratt. He's a fat guy that got sexy.
Aye. Before it was them picking at you, it was a hard graft he put in. I think a wee bit of the a wee bit of the
juice me like fucking
just to the gills. But no, like that's. But you're still going to the gym and you're still working hard for that.
Yes.
So, so when you were filming that, did you think right, this is going to be like a launch pad, because that was pre-COVID, wasn't it? Like when you were doing that, like the Outlaw King.
No, but that's sorry.
Was that? Oh, sorry, that was when you were doing extra work.
Aye, that was like I wouldn't really call it like full-time extra work. Like I just wanted to experience it to see if it was like something I wanted to do. And as soon as I did, like I was like, oh my god.
Did you feel like you belonged there?
Well, I just felt like I wanted to be there. Like even when I was there, like I tried for as many days as I could get because I just fucking loved it, man. It was such long hours.
So where was that filming? Like
Mulgai Park.
Right, that's not.
Is that?
Is it Muddock or something?
Muddock Country Park.
Aye.
They filmed the Battle of Loudon there. I was there.
Is that where that was?
Aye, I did that for 3 weeks.
So when they say that, I mean, this is going off like a topic with tangents here, but like Loudon, is that like the Loudon down Norway? Aye. Which is Ayrshire, by the way. There used to be a belter, a theme park that was there.
Loudon Castle.
Loudon Castle, aye.
God, remember that?
Aye, that was like your school trip every year. You would Loudon Castle, or you'd maybe go to like the science centre.
My old football manager, Paul, he used to own the go-karts there.
Did he? I remember that.
So I used to get free go-karts every time we went there.
Aye.
But Loudon Castle was quality, man.
Aye, because it was so big, and then you had the farm park, and there was like the bit in the middle, the big.
Fucking hell, man.
I know.
That's a
back.
throwback.
It was. Aye. I sometimes see myself going back on Google Maps and going back in time and just like staring at places that I'm like, I remember that. It's a bit. And I've done it with like, I'm not a St Mirren fan, but I've seen myself going to Love Street because I was there when Thistle won the league back in like 01, 02. 2000 to 2001 anyway. But I was there and I was like, that's cool, man. Like, and it's just a housing estate. So anyway, but yeah, no, Loudon Castle, very cool.
That's what we did there. But it was like long crazy hours, man. It was like pick-up calls, so you were having to get picked up at like a car park in the city centre at like 3 in the morning, and you were going to Mugdock Country Park, be there for like 4:30, and you were in hair and makeup, because you got to think like these people who are costume guys and girls were having to get through like 300 extras into like hair and makeup, costumes and all that. So it was a fucking long.
So is there a level of detail? See if you know you're going to be like right in the full distance, or like right, just wear this wig. It doesn't have to be perfect. Or is everybody like
everybody's aye
has to be on point?
Aye, but at the same time, a lot of guys was like, a lot of guys, if they were tired, were just like, fuck this, man. I'm just going to the back and just taking my fucking money.
One of the things I love, I
but like so many guys though. Sorry,
no, fire in. No, of course.
So many guys though. What a couple of guys called them as camera maggots.
They tried to be up close.
Yes.
Ah, right, okay.
And they took it too far, and like, it's hilarious because they're about 50 foot out of a shot,
Aye.
but they're giving it their fucking all, and you've got to give them credit for it because it's like fair play to you, mate. You know, just fair play to you.
Did you ever see that video when it was like the camera maggot? There was a guy and it's like it must be like some sort of like American football high school game, and he's like got the perfect hair. It's like a purple kind of varsity jacket, and he's like kind of jumping it almost like it's like kind of anime. He's like, yeah, you know, it's like I'll send you. It's really funny, but I know. See, when you've said that, I know exactly what you were saying, but. One of the things that I like to do is like if I really enjoy a movie, I'll go and watch like. Which is something you can't really do now. I love like media and that. I'll get the Blu-ray and I'll watch the behind the scenes and that. And I remember watching the appendices as a Lord of the Rings, and it used to amaze me that
it's my favourite movie.
All the Riders of Rohan were women with beards.
There wasn't that many
male horse riders
in New Zealand.
I watch
I'm obsessed with all the things, mate.
I bet you know, like Lauren and we watched it at Christmas there, and it was like probably to her having a director's commentary, because I was like, do you know in this scene Viggo Mortensen broke his toe? And that is an actual scream.
I watch the entire trilogy
annually,
at least twice a year.
At least twice.
At least. I'm that dedicated to Lord of the Rings. I was going to get an entire leg sleeve based upon it.
I like that.
I am obsessed with it. I would love to be a part of the show. That Rings of Power show, I would love to do it, but it's just hard being an actor. So
of course.
It's like,
well, you've got the Hunt for Gollum coming up. It's getting out of New Zealand though. That's where the problem is.
I would move earlier. Me, the wife, and kids. Let's go, man.
That'd be amazing.
Go film it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't play Aragorn, for example. So they'd need to give me some other character. But I would love to do it.
You're a dwarf with a growth spot. That's what you.
Aye, I could play a dwarf. Aye.
But no. Listen, that's one of the best. You can't fault that. But yes. Just when you see the behind the scenes stuff like that, it's good. So, COVID, what were you doing to kind of keep yourself? Because surely, I don't know about you, like I have really bad imposter syndrome, and I second guess myself all the time. The way you're talking, it doesn't seem like you would have that, because you seem to be kind of in your own space. And I find like my shields are up, but then they start like getting broken down if I'm no doing something. How did you keep yourself busy? Were you doing things over like Zoom, or were you just like out grafting, like trying to get the work in?
I mean, for a while it was just like dead, man. Like the industry was just dead. Mm-hmm. And like you would get the odd self-tape in, you'd do bits and bobs, but I was just really lucky. Like I met my missus in COVID.
Oh, right.
And then
nice.
Kinda the love story blossomed.
That's it?
And I just like fell head over heels for her, and just kind of, I was lucky I had that, like, to get me through COVID, really. Because essentially my dad was working away, and he was in a job where I think it was, what was the label they called it? It was like essential.
Oh, essential worker.
Like my dad's a project manager as well, so like he was running a job where like the job needed to be done, and my wee granny wasn't well, so my mum essentially moved in with her. So it was just me in the house with my dog.
Aye.
And I was just like, because I was already like suffering pretty bad depression and anxiety and shit like that. So I was just spiraling, man.
Aye.
And I'm just kind of lucky that I found like her and kind of that.
A good lady.
Kind of took me out
to
it. Because we used to just go out to the school, St Joseph's Academy in Koala.
Oh, right.
Like it was literally like a 5-minute walk from my house, and it was all shut. So like this entire school, gated school.
Uh-huh.
So we just used to sneak in under the gates with the dog, because I had a wee staffy.
Aye,
He
aye.
didn't like colour dogs. He loved folk, but he just didn't really like colour dogs. And it was the only place I could take him and let him off his leash, and he just used to fucking love it. He just used to go mental. And me and her used to just go take a ball, take a basketball, take an NFL ball, and just spend like about 3 years walking about this school.
Anybody ask you, like, no, this is the first hour of my exercise, it's an hour.
So that's basically like how we spent our COVID. That she'd come to me or I'd go to her, because I was myself anyway. Do you know what I mean? But acting wise, it was just hard. It was shite. I did get Don't Mind the Domino's Yodel adverts. Yodel.
Yes.
I got a job as I was to play an MMA guy in that, like in an advert. Adverts, a lot of people look down on adverts, but like a lot of people don't realise like
who got their start in adverts, you know what I mean?
Aye,
Did Clooney no do it? You know?
100%, but it's not just that, it's like they're really good money makers. Like sometimes these guys can pay like months and months of rent, like for some actors. And that was like for a lot of money, man. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen that much money in my life like, offered to me like before. Holy shit, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we go buy a house like or a deposit. Like, holy shit. And day of the shoot, the day before the shoot, I meant to be travelling down, and I'm like, I've still not like received any like, oh, you've got this or you've not got this, like, because I'd penciled it. They call it like they pencil you.
Aye, pencil you in.
But they never ever released me from that. So like I'd got to that, and I'm like, I'm fucking don't know what to do here, and obviously the next day came and like nothing was ever said. So they never tell you no, or they never really tell. They only tell you aye,
right?
Which is weird. And that's an industry thing that I don't like.
Is that disheartening? That would hurt me like that. I don't think like I'd struggle with that.
Like it's, not really, because like if somebody says like well, this industry is built on rejection.
Aye,
like,
of course.
The amount of stuff I've auditioned for, mate, that I've not got, or the amount of stuff I've been put forward for and not got, it would astonish you. But that's just how it is, and I'd like to think I'm pretty good at that. Like I don't really care. There is certain things that I care about. Like if it's a show I love.
Aye. Like if Lord of the Rings came out, aye.
Like for example, I'm a massive Game of Thrones guy.
Nice.
Like
well, we're talking about the studio
show.
Yes.
Like, I auditioned for a part. I didn't get it, but I was devastated. Like I was devastated. That's the first and only time I've ever been devastated.
Can you tell us what the part was? Or has it came out yet? Is it?
It's been it. I don't know. Do the actors do that?
I don't know. I'm interested to see.
No, it wasn't even like a massive part. It was it's a massive part in the lore.
Right. Don't spoil it for me because I'm avoiding it then.
Aye, no, it's like it was like a really cool part. Like especially if you're into like all the
background
books
stuff. Yeah.
Like it's a massive it's a pretty big part. But you're only in the show for like maybe an episode or something like that. Aye. But it was a big.
That's cool. No, like don't. No.
I'll tell you.
Tell me after. You can sign up to Patreon and we'll tell you.
Aye, do it.
No, so no, that see like that's cool because I would worry it would sour me on stuff like you're saying you love.
I think it does to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't last because they can't handle the rejection, whereas I can.
Aye.
Maybe that'll change. Who knows? But so far, like I don't really. If I don't get the part, like that's what it is. Once I've auditioned for a part, it's out my head. Like I don't think about it. Like unless it's been like a month, and I'm like, nah, I've definitely gonna go at that. Aye. Like I'll maybe have the odd thinking, but I like to think I'm quite good at that. And plus, like the missus, she keeps me kind of like grounded and like, aye, don't worry about it. Just. Who cares? What's for you wanting to buy and all that shit? I know,
that's a good Scottish one, isn't it? Once for you to go buy you. So, obviously, you're doing that. When obviously we first kind of started talking and that, and we'd go chatting about, like, you're an actor. The kind of Paddy Power ones were taking off, the adverts for that.
Aye.
Mate, tell me about that. How like, obviously, you've got that. How does that even come about? Like, what goes on there?
It's just like as any other job really. Like if a breakdown will come on, and my agent will put me forward for it, and if they like me, they'll ask me to audition, and if they like my self-tape, then they'll give me the part, or they'll want to see me again. And just so happened I got the part, and it was the mockumentary one, was my first one for Paddy Power, with Jamie Redknapp. I played Gus Garvey, a guy who supports Celtic Rangers. I think that's maybe the best one I've done, to be honest with you. That is like just tremendous, because I was like, I know this guy. I was like, I know this guy. Like, I can play this guy to a fine art, and I think genuinely I did play that to a fine art. Like, I think that's maybe one of my best performances, to be honest with you. Especially, I wish I still had the audition tape, because the audition tape's better. Like, the audition tape's phenomenal.
Aye.
But I got that. I got on really well with the guys that were like head of marketing and internet content, and then like ages went by, and there was loads more like Paddy Power stuff, and they never ever bothered to ask me. No hard feelings or anything like that. But then they wanted a Scottish guy or a Celtic fan, and big shout out Andy, who's like kind of runs the Paddy Power marketing, or like
Right, okay.
internet stuff. I don't really know what his job title is, but I know he's important. And he just basically offered me the job, like, rather than go through bullshit, like, oh, get this guy into self-tape, or he just like offered me the job.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of built for there. Like, I just get a really good kind of pally relationship with the guys, and like they knew that I'd come in and do the job, and I would do it to the best of my abilities, and just kind of worked for there really. And then Scotland qualified for Euros, so I had all that stuff.
So when that happens, are you thinking, good, you know, like that you'll get used for that, or were you?
Aye, 100%. Like, definitely. There was but you've also got like, so I'll get used for the Celtic stuff, I'll get used for the Scotland stuff, but then if England are in a major final, I'll get used for that as well, which I did. Like, I shot they essentially made a short film, like a short horror. Did you see it?
I've definitely seen it. I think I know the one you mean. I was going to say, like, when we first started kind of talking, the one you sent me, and it still sticks in my mind, was you're supporting a different team every, like, whoever's playing England, you're supporting it. It's the Swiss Rolls one still gets me. Like, I watched that. Like, I remember we went a big walking over in Lochwarnock, and I sat, and it was like, well, like, we need to go, and I was like, hold on a minute, I'm sitting watching. What did you actually watch? I was like, the Paddy Power advert. It was that cracked me up. Was it the one where you wake up in your bed and it's like,
Yes, it was a bad dream.
That was it. Yeah.
So that was like it was like a short movie, man. It was like a really big ordeal. We filmed that in like see the show Kin.
Aye.
Like they built like a set house there. So is
that not coming back?
I can't tell you, mate.
No, I'm talking rubbish. No, there was Love and Hate is coming back.
Is it?
Aye. Kin's the one with the fella Daredevil in it. He's in it.
I think
Charlie Sunday.
Nice.
I used to be so good at this, honestly. The amount of data that I had in my head, like, I could tell you whoever was in that and how old they're in that. Now I can't remember, but Charlie Cox, there you go.
Aye.
Eventually, the wee numbskulls were running a bit frantic there.
Aye, so
you filmed that in there,
basically it.
And it is,
I just kind of got a really good working relationship with them, and they know I'll do the job. So.
And is there anything in the pipeline with that, or just
not really?
Is it quite a quick turnaround with that? But like,
that's like the same. Like, it's got to the point where it's like that easy. Not that easy. I don't mean that, because it is quite like hard, obviously. But sometimes they're just looking for like social media content, which is just like a case of filming it on your phone.
Of course.
Pretty simple stuff, you know. They'll send me through like a wee script, and I can ad lib as much as I want.
So do you get that? Obviously, it's with the adverts, because they're very comedy oriented. They are very funny.
Aye.
Do you think, like, obviously being Scottish in it, actually, like, I think this is what somebody would say? Or,
well, of course. Like, and he totally understands that, and he always says that, like, in every email, on like every contact we have, like, please, mate, I know, like, you don't talk like this because you're Scottish. I'm writing this with an English head perspective. So, like, if you need to say something different, please say it. And, like, it happens all the time. But he's totally alright with that, because that's just how it is.
No, of course. It'd be the same way. If the boot was in the other foot, it'd be the same. But they do crack me up. I mean, especially with everything going on with like this takeover of Rangers, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff coming down, you know.
I hope so. I hope so. It keeps me working.
So that kind of leads us on to probably when you told me about this, I was kind of like, I think we probably spoke longer than we should have while at work. But is this the biggest show you would say you're going into Irish Blood?
Aye, 100%. It's the biggest thing I've ever done. What's my first like proper like part in a TV show?
Yes.
Like, numbered cast, play like a really good part. Like,
What drew you to that? Did you audition for that part specifically after reading
I
that?
auditioned for that part.
Yeah.
I was asked to audition for that part, and I initially didn't get it, and then they phoned me back and I got it, and then I got offered the part. Aye, the guy is like a crackpot, but it was just such a cool part, and I was like, oh, I really want this. But I didn't get it, so like it was out my head, and I didn't really care about it.
So what was how soon after had you been told no?
I think it was like a good couple of weeks, man.
So you
I
probably
I was driving home from work
right
on I'm pretty sure it was a Friday,
right.
and I got to the Stevenson roundabout, see where the McDonald's is.
The bike, the spiral route that everybody hates.
I got there, and I got a phone call from my agent telling me that I've booked the part. And I was like, no fucking way, man. Like, I thought they didn't want me. She was like, well, change their mind, they want you now. And I was like, alright, sound, man.
So how does that, do you get sent over like a contract to read or that? Like, do you sign on?
I'll get sent through like an offer.
Nice.
But my agent will deal with that. Like, because I don't really know anything about that, do you know what I mean? Just sign the dotted line.
That's it.
But that's the biggest thing I've done so far.
So no, I mean, when you were telling me the hours you were doing for that was grueling. Like, and how you made it work, it was like very impressive. You know, the shifts you were putting into then be coming back. Is like when you were on set with that, like was it different being like you're saying a numbered cast? Like you were like, this is.
It's completely different. Like you're not an extra. Like extras are treated like shit. Like they are.
I'm sure you came for the way where you're like, no, extras are actually sound.
No, I did though, because like, I don't agree with it. I think it's shocking, like the way the industry treats like.
Do you know think like runners and stuff like get back off?
Like runners are treated like shit as well. It's shocking, man. Like I don't know if like it's just the way I've been brought up or like where I'm from, but I just don't treat folk like that.
It's like when you hear them.
Like for example, I'm fucking like it's long fucking hours as an actor, but you're fucking in a cabin, like with whatever you want in your cabin. You know what I mean? You watch whatever you want on the telly. It's just long hours. It's long. It sometimes can be boring, like in between like your days and stuff, like and your shooting schedule and stuff. But it is what it is. Like it's the life you sign up to. Like I don't know.
It would be. It's almost similar to when you hear like old football players talking about, you know, like done his boots and, you know, like the way they spoke to like young Waynes and stuff, you know, like they were quite hard on them. I think the industry has to soften because folk are like a lot of folk don't want to get spoken to like that now. We're told you shouldn't be spoken, and you're rightly so. You shouldn't be spoken to like that. So that's good. You're coming in with that mentality, and you don't want to pick folk off because that could sour somebody. You know, like
100%
on that.
100%. So like, it's hard. It's hard.
So what's your character's name?
I'm going to get in trouble for this.
Oh no,
not in the sense of like
for butchering it.
No, for butchering it.
Because that's how I can't say.
I get into trouble for it like on set because I couldn't say Cuisine.
So I don't even know. I don't know if I should say this. I might get in a bit of trouble.
But then I think it could be.
So I was offered a bottle of a certain Irish liquor that's, I don't know if it's legit or not. You know, like.
Right.
And I was thinking, should I go and get this for this very night? But apparently it can make you blind in it. It's like Irish vodka. It's Pochine or something it's called. So
wow.
I'm not telling anybody where I got it for or how I procured this. No, like the Irish language is like Gaelic to me. I would love to. You know, like there's Bruce Fumé, he's a really good historian, comedian guy, and it's Kumbe Lamash Lalai, and I butcher it, and I would love to be able to speak it. He can speak it. So, but yeah, is there a kind of release window for that? Do we know roughly when it's coming out?
Honestly, I don't know. I think they told me summer.
Well, I feel like obviously I went and done a wee bit of kind of digging. to see we watched the preview before coming up. You didn't even know was the YouTube.
Nah, man, that's scary.
So there we go.
Don't get me wrong, like, I track it obviously. Like,
of course,
on my
yeah.
MDB page. Like I'll get a notification if something changes or something happens.
So-
I just filmed the ADR for it. No, I recorded ADR for it. Sorry, last month.
So do you do that like in the house and then send it across?
No,
or
so
you,
like they'll book me into like a studio.
like one of the ones up the town and
The sound director will zoom in the call, watch, listen, and then we'll just take it from there.
No, that's cool.
That was an
That's cool.
experience because that was like my first proper ADR session as well.
How was that? Because that's totally
Solid.
totally different.
Fucking solid, man. Like, see if I knew, like it's just hard because you've got to time it like to perfection and
Aye.
like for words missed and.
Well, remember the clip of, is it Hugh Jackman doing the running through the
Yeah,
forest
that's
and that?
that's real,
Mate,
man.
that's
Like, it's
brutal.
physical exertion because like in the show I do a physical scene, so like I had to get physical like in my sound booth. I was sweating my tits
Aye.
off. Like it was really hard.
It's a room probably smaller than this, you know, when
no, it's
it
tiny.
gets
It's like a
roasting.
closet, and it gets so warm. And I'm wearing a jumper, and I didn't know what to expect. So I got in there wearing a jumper. I've got my trousers on, fucking t-shirt and all that shit. And then they mic me up and all that. So I'm like sweating buckets, and I'm like, how do I get this mic after I take this jumper up? Am I going to hold this guy up? Oh, it was. Oh,
It's a bit
it was a mess,
you're just
man.
in your life front, you're like, was that a good
And then,
take?
I go outside, it's pissing down because it's typical Glasgow weather, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. So I took my jumper off and I just walked to the van, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sweating my tits off here.
So you've done that. Did you film scenes across for the kind of the main kind of actress? Would you say?
She's the main.
Alicia
she's the main-
Silverstone?
Aye, she's the main part of the show.
That's so cool. Like you know, like seeing that. As I say, like folk
Ma-
are surprised that I know Clueless. I'm like, Clueless is a classic.
Aye.
Like
Do you know, I've not seen Clueless. I
think
just remember her for Batman.
Batman and Robin.
Aye. And then something else. And then she was in.
Scooby Doo, Monsters Unleashed.
Aye, she was in a Netflix movie with Benicio del Toro.
Oh.
She plays his wife, and she's really good in that as well. And aye, so that's kind of how I knew her.
So-
but my whole time on the show is basically with her
Right.
and with another couple of actors. But basically, my whole shtick is with her.
So, where like when we found that we found the trailer for you there, Acorn TV, is that where? Do you know where it'll be UK wise? Like where it'll be shown?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I'm just asking.
Like,
that's
I
a hard hitting question.
I honestly really don't have a clue.
Right.
I think the way it works is
Use all the last to know everything. Anybody that gets
Aye.
asked anything, it's like, oh, you going to do the sequel to this? If I get asked,
aye,
you know,
basically.
so
But I genuinely don't know because I think the way it works is the production company will make it, they'll option it. The distributor will buy it, and then it'll be the same over here.
see what I find is especially like see back in the day, like to an extent you get it now. If it's on HBO, it's in Sky Atlantic. If it's on, you know,
Aye.
it's on one of the other channels. See now because you've got Netflix, Amazon, and that something that you're like should be here might not even come out here because Amazon have bought the rights for it, and you're like, how, you know,
So I honestly,
it could be anywhere, but we'll keep our eye out for it. And
100%.
and when it when it comes out, kind of looking back, is this like your favourite character you've played? Has there been a character you've been like that to me was where I want, you know, that's what it's about?
I think so.
Aye.
Well, it's like a good toss up because like a lot of the stuff I do is like big angry fucking bouncer or fucking something like that, man. But I played John in Mr. Sprinkles, a short movie I did about like the kind of Glasgow ice cream war. I was briefly telling you about. And he's like his character. He's a bit a wet wipe, really. He's just like a guy trying to punch above his shoes and try to like pay all this fancy stuff for his wife. So he's trying to overstep territory and this and that. And he gets done in, and that was a really cool part. I really enjoyed playing that part. Plus, the guy I did the short film with was a really lovely guy as well. He's quite a big actor.
Cool.
Eamon Elliott. lovely guy, and that was a good part. But this role was definitely like the best part because he is just a crackpot.
Really looking forward to that one. Looking back over your career, is there a role you're like we were talking before, when we first got speaking, you told me about the 12th Man that you filmed in that.
Yeah.
Watching that, that's an important one, because I think that goes back to what you were saying with regards to what the optics of ado drama over PE was back in the kind of west of Scotland, mid 2000s.
Yes.
That's what it is, because you know yourself, if it was not normal, yeah, that's gay, mate. What you doing, mate? That's gay.
Aye.
So, like, I think the 12th Man was I think it was important, especially with highlighting football, huge in the west of Scotland.
It was.
And when it was done there.
It was a really good wee short film as well, and I know the writer, Jack, because I met Jack on Outlaw King.
Oh, there you go.
Genuinely, and he just DMs me one day, and he's like, "Big man, you'd be great for this part. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Fuck aye, man." And I did it, and I really enjoyed doing it. It was a great experience as well. It was really lovely, great, like visually as well. So the guys that made it did a really good job. Lon, the main guy in it, he was a nice guy as well. Got on well with him. But aye,
it's an easy one to relate to, especially
that was like
growing
a
up in that.
small part as well. So like
But it was obviously being what, you 6'7", 6'8".
6'8".
Aye. So
With
it's
my
like
heels on.
you stand out, you know. So like it is. It was just, and it was when you told me about it, I was like, no way. And I went and I looked and I was like, saved that, and I went and watched it. And I think that's like a realistic depiction of what we've all went through, you know, like, because we all know somebody that was closeted in school and didn't feel comfortable coming out. And I'm glad nowadays, you know, there is. I think it's certainly a lot more accepting than that, you know, to be able to do that. And it's like, you know, I wish back when we were, you know, at school, you know, you could have had those opportunities, because I always wondered, like, I would have liked to have done acting and drama,
of course.
and you just it's. I feel like, you know, it's too late now for that. But I'm glad kids are getting the opportunities and that. And obviously, you can speak to the how important it is, you know, especially in Scotland. And it's a very small, but it's a very kind of tight knit group. Everybody seems to know, you know, one another, somebody that's worked in something. So it's.
It's like the best thing I've ever done.
Aye.
Like I can't explain how important I feel that is to for kids as well, to be allowed to be creative. Like it's like I think it would save a lot of people as well. Like my wee boys, they love it as well. My eldest, he's just done a Haribo advert already.
Amazing.
Yes.
Is it one? It's not one of the ones where it's got like the voices or that.
Yes.
Is it?
Right. So see the most recent one.
Right.
I think it's the two guys who are out in the fish.
Aye.
That's my wee boy that starts that. Like
that
he
right?
starts that have. He goes, Haribo Star Mix. that's me, man.
That's amazing.
And me and the two boys did a self tape yesterday. Or the other day, I can't remember, for like a clothing brand or something like that. It's just an advert, but like I'll get my wee boys.
It's the door in, and it gets them used to it.
They love it.
Aye.
Like Paddy especially, he loves it.
That was because you got the Paddy Power adverts you had to do.
But he does. He loves it. So I think he's kind of got a wee interest in it and would like to maybe see where it takes him as well. Or he would like to do it maybe as he got older.
That's brilliant.
But aye, it's very important.
No, that's it. Well, we've been going for a wee bit now. We'll kind of wrap it up here now. But is there anything kind of coming up apart from obviously Irish Blood? Is there anything in the pipeline? No, that you need to tell us, but should we be watching out for anything? Is there?
No, Irish Blood.
That's
kind of the only thing I've really got out on the pipeline.
That's exciting. I'm
It
looking
is
forward to
exciting 'cause
it.
it's
The clip. What we'll do is I'll when this episode goes live, I'll get that clip and I'll make sure it's up with it as well, seeing as we've got it there. That's pretty
Very nice.
pretty cool.
Very
Pretty cool.
Although I'm not in the clip, so
You're not, but it gets folk knowing what it is, you know.
yeah,
like,
aye, totally.
you know,
Aye,
somebody getting stabbed in the eye with a
Yeah.
toothbrush. I'm all there for that.
Aye. That's kind of that. Well, it's no kind of. That's the only thing I've really got in the pipeline. A lot of maybes and ifs and buts like in the background.
But that's what's
See how
gonna
they
be,
pan out.
No,
But
that's
that's
exciting.
just how this industry is. Like You never know, like as I said, like that, I never got that. But then 2 weeks later, I got a phone call saying that I did get it. So one of these things that I've auditioned for, you never know, I might get a wee phone call saying,
you've got to be
by the
able to
way,
win it.
we'd like to see you for this part again. Do you want to do that?
But then the same way as that, obviously you do your auditions and stuff. Somebody could be sitting watching Irish Blood.
Well, that's the hope as well. Yeah. Plus, it's quite difficult as well because you're encouraged to reach out to casting directors and tell them that you're looking for work or you'd like to be seen for something, but this is the most professional thing I've really probably done. The biggest thing I've done as an actor. So that footage, I'd like to use to say, oh, by the way, this is what I've done. So it's kind of hard to approach these people that are making shows that you feel like you'd be well fitted for,
of course.
Mobland or The Gentleman, or I've just literally played an Irish gangster. I can't show you the stuff because of that.
I promise I did.
I promise it's coming out.
I did that.
So,
at least you're still
you're kind of stuck in a a hard place. But once it's out, I'm hopefully going to do the chasing up and maybe get something off the market.
No, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. This has been.
You're welcome.
We've done interviews in the past. I think this is going to sound the best and be the most professional, and we will go back and redo obviously the older ones as well. But Kal, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Remember, if you want to get in touch, you can do that by contact@thewhiskeysourhour.com, and you can jump on to I'm doing my hands at the moment. You can jump onto the socials at Facebook, The Whisky Sour Hour, Instagram, The Whisky Sour Hour, and you can listen to us on all major streaming podcasts, all major streaming platforms. So, I've been Thomas Waddle. This has been Kal John. And whoa, first, stop there.
Oh,
your name.
Yeah.
So I know you. Can I say if your name is that?
Aye.
Right. So Kal Walker is how I know you.
Yes.
IMDb knows you as Kal John.
Yes.
Let's discuss that.
Yes. So as a little goodbye story, so you're encouraged to pick a stage name when you finish drama school, when you're trying to enter the professional world of drama, with your equity card and your spotlight stuff. So I selected my name, as you do, because my drama lecturer was you don't want to make up a name like Alfonso Douglas, because if somebody shouts you down the street, Alfonso, and you don't turn around, you're going to look like a fucking idiot, aren't you? So you really want to keep your first name.
Your
second name can kind of be loosey-goosey. So I just thought, well, fuck it, I don't know any Kal Walkers out there, so I'll just use my name. But somebody had it. Well, they didn't have it, they had Callum Walker.
Right.
But they wouldn't give me it because it's too similar to Callum Walker, even though my name's Kal, but I didn't quite get that. But I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And my middle name was John. So that's where Kal John comes from.
Nice.
So I went with Kal John. But the twist to this story is that my name is not fucking Kal John. The reason why I know that is because when my wee boy was born, obviously you have to take your birth certificate and my missus' birth certificate to the registry office. So, but I didn't have mine, so I'm like, oh fuck, I need to get my birth certificate. Can I have my birth certificate? And it came back as Kal Walker. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, my name's no Kal Walker. My name's Kal John Walker. She's like, no, your name's Kal Walker. You've never been called Kal John Walker in your life. And I'm like, are you sure? I've lived 27 years of my life known as Kal John Walker, and you're telling me my name's fucking Kal Walker? What the hell? My whole professional acting name is named after what that is. And I've never been called Kal John Walker in my life. My mum and dad just told me I was Kal John Walker, even though I'm no. I don't, and it was kind of like a running joke between me and the missus, maybe my dad just took me to the registry office and forgot to say that my name's Kal John Walker, so she just wrote down Kal Walker. So I don't know what happened, but my life is a lie, basically, essentially. So I'm not Kal John Walker, I'm just Kal Walker. So I've now got a stage name, Kal John, even though John's got nothing to do with my actual fucking name, other than the fact that it was my dad's name and it was my papa's name.
There you go.
There you go.
That was a good way to sign off, but Aye, so I've been Thomas Waddle. This has been Kal John.
Yes.
This has been the Whisky Sour Hour. Cheers.
Peace.
A wee drinky poo.
A wee fucking dram.
I remember-
Why get fucking wrecked?
Mate,
Wreck the hoose juice.